Just like that, we're in the next game, guys. In the blue, Tatoh playing as the Berbers, and in the yellow, we have MBL playing as the Berbers. So it's a Berber mirror. It's a Berber. All right, I'll stop. Tatoh winning the last game, and I think if you were to add up the games over the past week, Tatoh has a slight edge over MBL with the results. Most of those were non-mirrored. This time it's the same civ. This would be pretty cool. In the yellow is MBL, who has an interesting map here. You can see his lumber's on the back. There's a pond in it, unfortunately. His gold's above his TC as his main stone. If he wants to wall, and this is MBL, so he probably will, he can build out in front of this golden wall. I also probably build on the hill to hold that hill advantage. The wall on the left, just fine. But really, he has a good map for the early game, at least. I do think if Tatoh were to go forward and pressure this area, he has 2 stones and 2 golds on 1 screen. So a good position there for Tatoh if he gets there, but I think MBL will be able to stop that. Tatoh, this is just bad. This is bad. This is what really tests you as a player. His wood line's back here, and he's not going to be able to have that for very long. And then behind his TC, that's also pretty bad. And then he has wood on the left, which is equally as bad. Very open on the front. His main gold and his main stone in the same location. So yeah, big differences with the maps. As MBL can at least wall his up a little bit, and he has a lot more wood. As Berbers, I'll show you the tech tree. Villagers move 10% faster. That might help a forward for Tatoh. The stable units cost 15-20% less. And then ships move faster, which is completely useless here. Camel archers are the main focus if you get to Castle Age, and I think because of that, because you need stone to get camel archers, a lot of players like to go tower rush because they're already on stone, they go defensive towers, and they're a little bit greedy with a fast castle, and they try and build one then. They'll try and use just the towers to defend, but MBL has found Tato's boar. MBL thought about it. He ran around the boar. He's not going to lame him. I think they have a little bit of an agreement. MBL has respect for Tatoh. We'll see what Tatoh does. MBL walling the front. No surprise there. T90 wall, am I right? Yeah, everybody's betting on MBL because of his map. I don't know. I kind of trust Tatoh in these situations. Well, good scouting from MBL to figure out what his base is like, and I think it's not just scouting at this level, but understanding what you can do with what you scout, if that makes sense. Like Tatoh here especially, he did choose the best wood line. Maybe this one would have been a little bit better. But now he's going to have to decide what he's going to do going forward. Noobs of AoE2 was just announced. Yeah, I heard about that behind the scenes. I will cast it as long as there are... Actually, what's the time frame on that, Trirem? I messaged Pumakol and said, please don't do it during Clash of the Desert or Kings of the Desert, because I'm going to always prioritize Kings of the Desert, but I assume if it was just announced, it will be during that, right? Tato's going to get 2 deer. Nice food boost for him. Already has both boars underneath his TC. They'll have a stronger push in feudal. MBL, I don't think he lured any deer. He has deer in the back of his base, so if he wanted to drush, if he wanted to go for man-at-arms, or basically do anything, he can always send villagers back here to get the deer because they're safe. And he's full walled his base now, so he's not going to be touched. October 23rd, yeah, that's awful timing. That is awful timing. I hope so, man, but... we have 32 of the best players in the world going to be playing in a 1v1 tournament, and I'm pretty sure the dates are going to clash for many of the games. So that's just awful timing for me. I was planning on contacting Robo or someone to organize it so we could do it after that event, but they organized it, and we'll see. We'll see. I hope to. Barracks for MBL. Actually clicking up at almost the same time. It's always impressive because The maps are different, player styles are different, but those advancing times often very similar. Yeah, these games are live. You can see the host time is right there. We're 90 seconds behind because that's the default. So Tatoh not going forward, saving his sheep because he has the deer, and I guess he will go for scouts. But the problem with Tatoh luring all those deer, he doesn't know what MBL is doing, what MBL's map looks like. MBL will probably go scouts as well. That only makes sense here. I guess he could go 2 ranges, but the scouts are much faster. MBL has already found Tatoh, and he's trying to figure out what he's going to be sending his way. Stable for MBL, and Tatoh, he has a stable too. And the scout fight with very little lag. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. They were trying to get the hill advantage on those hits, and MBL somehow won by a millisecond for keeping his scout alive. At MBL's base, the elevation is such a double-edged sword. Well, it is a double-edged sword, you're right. I think that MBL, you need to think about 10 town centers later in the game. They're just going to add farms now and go scouts for map control. MBL is going to opt to be more defensive, and he's going to want to boom, and he'd want to TC here or TC out here. This would be perfect because it'd get a gold and the wood. But this small hill is not a huge deal for MBL because he's going to be creating units. Tatoh sends 4 scouts right now. MBL can run away, create more in his stable, and Tatoh knows he's going to be outmanned. But what Tatoh has done with his base is very nice. Still hasn't scouted MBL, so no time to do that now. He's starting to house walls on the walls. And he has 2 lumber camps with wood that, again, won't last long, but he needs to make sure he doesn't take any early losses, and he's inviting MBL to his base. And MBL has 2 forward spears versus the 1 from Tatoh. And Tatoh's just massing scouts. When you go with the scout build, every time you get 60 wood, you want to build a farm. And that's what Tatoh is going to be doing. That's what MBL will be doing. Tatoh benefiting from sheep underneath his TC still. But I think that this fight is just basically a skirmish until the Castle Age. MBL's not the style of player to go all in feudal, especially when he has a map like this where he can just boom. So then it's all on Tatoh, because Tatoh likely will not have the best time if MBL is creating more. I don't know. It really depends. He has some nice walls. Walls will protect him for quite a long time. He can always tower this area too. Protect the stone, protect the gold. Tatoh's done a great job with his map. Created extra spears to cancel out MBLs, but he knows he can't do any damage. He saw the walls. He doesn't even need to find the other ones. He's going to run back home and patrol in front of his base and just hope MBL sends units, throws away a couple units, and yeah, it's all about fast cast or going to Castle Age now. Alright, Snapes, thank you for stopping by. Have a nice night. The viewer count really increased, so are these new people or people who said, oh look, it's MBL and Tatoh. I think I'm going to actually watch T90's stream right now. You never know, really. You never know. There's so many people watching streams now, so many new people coming into the stream. So it's great either way. Nice little dance. I think MBL has benefited from these engagements so far. He's taking smart hits with his spears. Tatoh can't engage. Trying to go for the weak scouts. Yeah, just running away because Tatoh realized MBL has a weak scout. MBL is actually going to lose it. But this does not matter. 500 food for MBL, getting there. 600 food for Tatoh. He's a little bit closer. Oh, and I didn't see this. Tatoh's on stone, guys. So he's going to try and go with the castle and go camel archers in the Castle Age. So that actually slows down his castle time. If he had these villagers doing something else, then he probably would have more food and more gold, etc. MBL is not on any stone. He's not opting for that choice, and with the blacksmith and probably canceling this vill, or after that vill he will click up. Surprisingly, around the same time as Tatoh. The spears don't really matter now. The Berbers get the cheaper knights and the cheaper camels, and that's what MBL will be going with. Oh, he is on stone now, but he didn't go near as early. Tato's at 400 stone. MBL is still at 200 because these villagers haven't even come back to the mining camp yet. So MBL should have... Well, I think Tato's going to have an advantage here. I was going to say MBL would have an early advantage, but I don't know about that. Tatoh can still make a few camels to defend. MBL will probably be able to afford more upgrades, but does he really want to get those upgrades if he's waiting for camel archers later on? I don't think so. And Tatoh can just build the castle right here. I think that'd be the best place for it. Right in the front of his base. Force MBL to run around. And Tatoh can take this wood later. Probably wants to TC that. On this side, he also could TC the other side of the wood, protecting the gold. Other golds we need to focus on. MBL has this gold outside of his base, and to the right where that spear is, he has a gold. And then along the right side of the map, you'll see 2 relics. On the left side of the map, there is an extra stone and an extra gold. So, neutral resources that do favor MBL with their location. And I think that's it. Don't see any others. Oh, hold on. No, there's a neutral gold over here. So as the game goes on, they're going to want to control those. 1 stable for Tatoh, and he's building the castle, getting bloodlines. That'll benefit his camel archers, and MBL is going 2 stables. Well, is he going to create anything? He doesn't have anything scouting that. He didn't scout the stone being collected, so he doesn't know that the castle's coming up. I think he's going to create... Yeah, he's going to create a monastery, and he's creating camels out of 2 stables. So this could actually add up quick for Tatoh. If MBL's creating all these units that he's really not going to be able to use, and Tatoh has the edge, despite the bad map, going for the university, probably good to be a bit more aggressive still if you're Tatoh. He's going to try and get early ballistics. And MBL just seeing the castle, and, well, he's stuck with camels now because he doesn't have his own castle up. Sivad, don't twitch and drive, man. Don't twitch and drive. Unless you're driving with work, unless you're a passenger. In which case, I just have to say you're a fantastic employee. If your boss is listening to this, boss, you need to give Sivad a raise. He's doing a great job. It would be kind of funny if you're driving in the car, you're like, hey boss, I'm gonna watch Age of Empires if you want to listen. Okay, well, camel archers are going to add up for Tatoh. Actually missed it. Did he research ballistics yet? I don't think he did. I was too busy talking about work. I guess I'll see in the fight. MBL going 3 TCs and massing camels. Also massing monks. Total of 6 range for the camel archers and then 9 for the monks. However, camel archers are very fast. So they could always micro down those monks once the unit's mass. And here come the camels. I think MBL will try and hop out of the monastery now to get some conversions. No, he hasn't done so. Camels do a decent amount of damage versus the camel archers, but it's all about massing the camel archers. Camels can't fire over wood lines like camel archers can. And these camels cannot approach that castle. Bluetooth, got it. That's pretty awesome. How can I unlock all the civs? Well, if you haven't purchased the other civilizations, you're not gonna be able to use them if you're on HD. You have to purchase all of them. Alright, MBL is gonna try and snag relics, which is wise. Oh, he has a spear on this relic too, so he's definitely thinking about late game. And Tatoh can't do much damage here. MBL has held on, and I don't know if you noticed this, but MBL still hasn't built a castle. He's gone for the extra TCs with the stone, so different styles. MBL with a few more vills. And there's ballistics for Tatoh. He's still on 1 town center. But this will get more and more dangerous. for MBL as these units mass. Knowing MBL, well, the thing is, mixing Genitors is a bad idea, Red Floyd, because MBL is hoping that he's going to have a stronger economy and then he can build a castle on the front and breathe a little bit. He would have to add archery ranges, and he'd have to get the upgrades on those units, and he'd have to create them. So when you boom like this, you can't afford to switch without delaying your boom big time. So both players, like of course you could say that Tatoh might be able to add something at some point to counter, but you normally stick with 1 or 2 units. In this case, it's going to be monks and camel archers, and then transition once your economy's stronger. And this is what I'm talking about. MBL needs conversions to justify the monks. And Tatoh got a conversion and losing the monk. The camel archers are so fast. With one slip up, building one farm, and then you realize you've lost all 4 monks. That's 400 gold down the drain and huge position. Yeah, the DLCs do go on sale. They don't say it ahead of time though, so you never really know when it's going to happen. I think summer, they always have a summer sale and a winter sale, right? You guys would probably know about the Steam sale more than I would. Every time there's a Steam sale, they do it. I don't play other games, and I don't use Steam for my Age of Empires anymore, so I really don't know. Oh, this is so important. MBL going for the later castle, Tatoh finding it, and Tatoh actually missing that villager. But notice how he didn't lose any camel archers. He was able to fire a volley at the vills, run away, and be completely fine. And Tatoh is on 2 castles now, and this castle's on an important hill. Tato's going to have his 2nd relic, and ooh, I think he's going to be the first to scout the 3rd. Look at that. Paying attention to it as we're not. Tatoh is just going to go up on 1 TC, which we've seen time and time again with these expansions. Doesn't have the Vil lead. Will be behind in economy, but we'll find out if he has the military lead with this unit choice. MBL is about to click up too. I think if he knew Tatoh clicked up, he'd idle his TC, but yeah, it should happen right after this creation of villagers. Main TC, boom, 2 TCs for MBL, 1 castle. Will be 2 castles shortly. 1 TC for Tatoh, 2 castles. And in my opinion, a huge military advantage because MBL does not have these camel archers massed. It's just a matter of if MBL's extra villagers and the extra economy can do something for him to combat this. Now is when you start thinking, okay, I'm going to go with another unit comp to complement X and X, but I think he's going to go heavy camel. Heavy camels are really good versus camel archers, at least in the Castle Age. I don't know what elite camel archers are like versus heavy camels. And then he can add camel archers too. Oh, Tatoh. Oh, he snipes a monk. Still, I mean, Tato's using the T90 hacks. He's still... Okay, there's 2 conversions. I jinxed you. Sorry, Tatoh. Finally getting conversions. I think Tatoh could stop this castle. MBL's just praying that he won't see it, but he is going to see it. MBL has to address it now. Every second counts here. Every villager, obviously, as well. And, oh, man. Yeah, without heavy camel, these guys struggle. That castle's denied. Which was the better approach? Archer range for MBL. And Tato's just going to camp this because he knows he's going to get upgrades. Both players getting thumb ring out of that archer range. I think Tatoh should add a trebuchet. Add a trebuchet and force an engagement from MBL. He's not using that castle at the moment, but it's probably because he's focusing on everything else. Great position for the camel archers. Can range the villagers. Also denying the gold, so it's not just the castle he's denying, it's the gold. This is a perfect moment for Tatoh to get here, honestly. And still massing camel archers. Heavy camel now for MBL. No upgrades on his camel archers, so he has to depend on the speed of his camels to close in on the camel archers. But Ranged units are normally preferred because you can hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. And Tato's not known for mismicroing, so I think if Tatoh gets caught up in a choke point, the heavy camels can kill all these units. But if they don't, you gotta give Tatoh the edge. MBL's on 2 castles. He wants to be on 3, that's for sure. He's waiting for an engagement. This gives Tatoh time to patrol the other gold, which he's already doing. It's all about, once you get to this level and the games are close, it's all about map control. And I feel like, I don't know what I was doing the past 2 years casting, because I never talked about this as much as I do now, once I improved as a player. There's 2 golds that Tatoh's denying. Now, this might be a little bit more obvious than other games, but players always think about this once they hit the castle age. Patrolling for this gold too. Tatoh has this gold safe, stone safe, and he's building a TC out there for greater map control. MBL's just catching up with upgrades. This is #1 priority. Get his castle so he can get his gold. Could Mangonel and heavy camels be a good combo? Mangonels actually don't do much to camel archers, especially when they're elite. They have so much HP. Okay, let's see. Tatoh just regrouping now. This is not what MBL was expecting. He knew this part of the army was there, but Tatoh arriving at the exact same time with the rest of his army. And yeah, MBL's just going to delete it now and give up. And Tatoh is doing a great job. Now, they're the Genitors, but again, he needs to mass them. Tatoh already has a unit comp massed. I'm just waiting for Tatoh to start making trebs. I think he'll want to get elite camel archer first. It's weird that's not showing up on the overlay. I just happen to see it. Get elite camel archer, castle on the hill again, and then treb all these castles down for MBL and make MBL fight uphill. I think that should be the goal. Still looking at this gold. MBL needs a big fight. He also has elite camel archer on the way. Same upgrades, actually. I'm surprised MBL's population's so good. I don't know about you, but he's in this small corner of the map. He's running out of space for everything. He doesn't have the 2 golds he wants, but he still is at 127 population, and it's because of the extra villagers, of course. But maybe that'll give him a shot here. If he masses the Genitors, goes heavy camel and camel archers, maybe that could be devastating. Oh man, Tatoh distracting MBL by sending the camel archers here. MBL sending his army over, not going there yet. And Tatoh on the hill once more. He will not let up. I'm waiting for the trebs. I guess Tatoh wants more military population. Why not at this stage? He is starving his opponent. But why not just continue to make camel archers? His opponent's behind if he holds those areas. Genitors melt against camel archers. Well, is this class? Yeah, they definitely melt. Does this classify as a cavalry archer, I guess? It's a mounted unit, so obviously MBL's listening to the stream and took someone's recommendation and now he's regretting it. It is pretty crazy how MBL's just like, this is how MBL plays. It's really impressive, honestly. He's able to just sit here, and sit here. No map control whatsoever. And Tatoh, another castle on the hill. Microing down the camels. Okay, so this might be the engagement MBL has been waiting to take. Heavy camels in front. He has his own elite camel archers. He has the Genitors as well. We're undecided on that choice. Hill for Tatoh, which he's going to try and hold. But at least in this area, it looks like MBL has more numbers. And Tatoh, of course, has more numbers everywhere else. Units on the right, units in the middle. But finally, MBL gets his gold. Alright, and he's taking the score lead, too. This is something else. So he's getting elite Genitor. And I'm trying to find a unit as they connect. It doesn't look like it's doing that much damage. Still, it's a good combo, I think, to go with the Genitor and the Camel Archer. MBL finding the gold. He hasn't seen Tato's castle yet. Tatoh probably wishing he would have put the castle a little bit closer to the gold. He's losing some of those bills. Heard a siege workshop for MBL. He's probably going to be going for some siege. Tato's already on this gold as MBL gets there, so MBL's behind in the map control. Look at Tato's base. It's so open for raiding. It's important that he holds the map control and doesn't lose fights. It's basically going to be a fight for the castles, right? Once castles go down, it's GG for both players. Let's see if Trireme was wrong. No, don't think Trireme was wrong. These units are not strong against the Camel Archers, but MBL has a lot of them at least. And oh man, Tatoh, the king of map control, man. Going to the gold. He knows he's not going to take any losses here because of his castle. Feels like MBL's constantly playing catch up. Rams. Rams are the answer. Camel Archers are not like Mangadai where they can destroy siege with their arrows. Camel Archers do struggle. I think we're gonna see an attempt at a trap from MBL. These Camel Archers here and then Genitors on the right. And Tatoh senses this. Tato's gonna run away and maybe try and loop around. And MBL's gonna try and stop him. The Tatoh will now lose villagers here. MBL also could kill the villagers on the stone. Well, good engagement there for MBL. But at the same time, he lost his villagers on the right to Tato's Camel Archers. This game is the gold camp game. Everyone's camping the golds. They don't want to take a big engagement. MBL going to push Tatoh away, and this has got to be fun to play because you have multiple armies. It's fun to watch, that's for sure. The units are fast. MBL coming back out to the gold now. And the one thing he's doing is rams, while Tatoh, well, he's adding hussars, which would be great against the rams, but he doesn't have his own siege yet. So Tatoh has one villager on gold there. None on gold here now. He's baited MBL. He's going to keep his army alive. MBL does not have villagers on gold here. Tatoh probably wants that. So I guess MBL has more on gold at the moment. He also has more villagers. Also at 200 pop and floating more resources, while Tatoh is not at 200 pop. He's at 178 population. But we have two armies for Tatoh, both of which will fight this. Oh, Tatoh probably patrolled and he's hitting the Genitors, but he's on the hill. And now MBL's running away from the gold. But when will this game end? When is someone going to make a real push? No one wants to push the death ball of castles. No one wants to push up these hills. This constant raiding. And why not with Camel Archers? That's their strength. That's their speed. Their stats are tanky. I think MBL's obviously the one who wants to make a push, while Tatoh's just merely trying to keep map control and starve his opponent. Tatoh has more military. A lot of it is here, and MBL taking big losses. But I think MBL should just go full Camel Archers instead of the Genitors, and I think that's the route he's taking. Has Tatoh seen the rams yet? No, he didn't even see the siege workshops. He's making trebs. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Tatoh wants to loop his army around, sit on the hill, and finally start killing these castles. He's trying to camp the gold there. He has villagers coming out to get map control here. Many villagers have died on the battlefield because of gold and stone. And look at that, Tatoh! You see, he set the trebs down. He's like, oh no, let's run back real quick. And now he's sending his army around. But MBL actually has these Camel Archers distracted. The problem is the Hussars are coming in for Tatoh on the right, so he needs to pull back. And he's also sending the Rams back too. What a game here. Now the hill advantage will be in Tatoh's favor, so he's doing more damage on top of the hill. And MBL is doing less as he shoots up the hill. I guess I'm gonna have to ban links again. Yeah, Nimino's paying attention. Thank you, Nimino. You're an amazing mod. Let's see how the Rams do. Tato's taking this opportunity to try and take out one castle. He has Hussars and Camel Archers, while there's Genitors, Rams, and Camel Archers for MBL. And because of the hill and the aggressive play from Tatoh, MBL's gonna lose a castle. Over here, MBL taking more villagers off gold. But he probably wants the numbers in the main fight. The capped Rams are going to be a meat shield for MBL. Tatoh will recognize that though, and he'll send in the Hussars. Tatoh has so many Camel Archers, and really he doesn't need to win this fight now. He just needs to take out castles, and that'll help in later fights. So he might be thinking about pulling back at this moment, but he wants to hold till that castle goes down. MBL's gonna need to kill as many Camel Archers as possible before he loses this castle. There's no repairs coming in. Yep, there we go. So he knows the castle will go down. He'll try and pack up the Trebs, and he'll fight on the hill once more. MBL almost level with military units because Tatoh was sitting there for so long. And he's now facing up against MBL's Hussars. MBL's Hussars gonna go for the Trebs, but not gonna last very long. There's a slight hill here for MBL, I think. Might be my eyes playing tricks on me. Yeah, there's a hill here, so he does do some hill damage, but Tatoh also has a small elevation there. Look, 1 vil per Treb almost, with the repairs. Well, time to look at MBL's resources. He can get this gold again if he wants. Tato's trying to raid that constantly. And Tatoh still has this gold, which is coming out too. Tato's down 10 population, but in my opinion, he has the best unit comp, and he has the best positions in the map. Are you guys on the edge of your seat at home? I am as a caster. Look, every single time, this is such good play. You can learn so much from this. Every single time MBL tries to get gold, Tato's there. Every single time Tatoh tries to get gold, MBL's there. This is late game Age of Empires for you. Now this changes things. MBL is going to try and raid the eco with Hussars. This will be annoying. Way to spam caps in my chat, Roach. Let's watch the vil count of both players as the rating begins. 108 vils for Tatoh. That's obviously going down now. Forcing the Camel Archers back. This might be an opportunity for MBL. Oh, he's gone Bombard Cannons. Okay. MBL back here patrolling the gold. You can hear his economy. His farm's expiring. Tatoh still with a good vil lead, but it's certainly annoying as you have to idle your TCs and garrison and send Camel Archers back home. And just one single Hussar, if you don't have military, one single Hussar can kill your whole economy for not paying attention. It takes a lot of focus. Now this is MBL's point of view. This is what he sees going into this fight. The Bombard Cannons can also do damage to the Camel Archers, but of course the Hussars have the speed to kill the Bombard Cannons. Keeping his unit patrolled here as he tries to get this gold once again. This is not the first time we've said this. Probably the 20th time we've said this. I want to toggle and see the gold collected. Yeah, look at Tatoh's gold collected versus everything else from MBL. So MBL had more food and more wood, which makes sense, but Tatoh has the lead with the gold. Alright, I'm trying to toggle back to the main screen. Huge losses for MBL there. He doesn't have the numbers he needs. Oh boy, he could lose Bombard Cannons. No. Tatoh having to run away now. And MBL making a push on the right to take out one of Tatoh's castles, which would give him access to this gold. And he's going to take it down. And Tatoh, though he took an engagement on the left, he's probably hoping he had the military on the right. Can the Bombard Cannons kill the Camel Archers? I think Tatoh's getting a little bit desperate with these fights, sending his Trebs over to the right. He hasn't been the one to make a big push in this game. Really been MBL trying. He went with the Captor M4, and now he's going with the Bombard Cannons, but I just feel like Tatoh's approach is so much better in his situation. The Bombard Cannons do help, but they're so expensive, and when you don't have the gold like MBL, it's going to be a struggle. But at 170 pop for both players, this game is so incredibly close. These players are so good. The Hussar on the left. I think MBL's winning there. On the right, I'd say Tatoh has a slight edge. So how do you call a game like this one, guys? You just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, really. We're an hour in, and I can't tell you who's going to win. You think Tatoh should be favored because of the lack of gold, right? But MBL could take this, and he could take this too. I think that might be one of those things he'd live to regret. Okay, Tatoh pushing in. He has the Hussars immediately going for the Bombard Cannons, and that's a lot of Camel Archers. Don't know where that came from. But Tatoh has the numbers and has the meat now to probably push in and kill this next castle. MBL falling back. He's losing his units on the front. Adding another archer range. And it's 73 military to Tatoh, 50 for MBL in the blink of an eye. MBL about to lose his last castle. And honestly, it might all come back to the lack of production because he lost his 2 castles earlier and he's going to lose all of them now. And can he do anything without Camel Archers? I don't think so. That castle's a gunner for sure. MBL cannot save that, which means he needs to go Hussar and Genitor, and that's going to be a very difficult task for him. He could keep what army he has alive and just make a lot of Hussars. Again, Tatoh has the golds controlled. I do see Hussar rating from MBL. Maybe that will add up. And it did do damage. But that's a huge loss. And Tatoh knows it. So he's going to just stay here and kill as much as possible. MBL's on the hill too. So every unit is a little bit stronger in this position. And Tatoh needs to pack up and go for the production buildings and finish off this game now. Go for the relics too. He finally got to this gold safely. And there's the GG for MBL. Wow, what a game, though. What a game. MBL was behind for a long time there, if not the entire time. I thought it was going to be an earlier GG than that, because if you remember, MBL had a gold here he couldn't access, and he couldn't access the one on the right either, for what felt like forever. And his castle was denied, too. He had to delete one of his castles. So, I don't know how MBL stayed in that game, but that was really well played from him, because he was definitely behind with position. He couldn't push up hills easily, and he didn't have as many castles, and, you know, everything I talked about for the past hour and 3 minutes. Well played from Tatoh. When the game started, I'm sure everybody was thinking Tatoh would lose this one because of his awful map. I mean, where is there a wood line for Tatoh? Really? He doesn't have a lot of available wood lines. He knew he needed to be the aggressor, which is why he went up on 1 to 2 TCs, an imp, and that paid off for him. He just never took his foot off the gas. Yeah, battles were intense. 507 units killed and 379 lost. So Tatoh obviously leading into KD because of having Camel Archers earlier and having the hill. But well played for both players. I'm sorry about the yawn. Now that's a YouTuber for sure. Feudal, Castle, Imperial Age times. Look how close these were. I love these two players because they play all the time and they always give us entertaining games. This matchup in particular is really good. So I'm looking forward to more. I think MBL